Welcome to Intentionality with Dominique, the show that helps business owners become valued and in-demand suppliers in the marketplace to scale their businesses. Let's start today's show with host and intentional connector, Dominique Simpson-Milton.
Intentionality with Dominique is designed to spotlight successful entrepreneurs, those who've made it past the critical 10-year mark and have valuable insight to share. Their journeys offer lessons that can help less experienced business owners avoid common pitfalls and grow stronger faster. The more businesses we help survive, the stronger our economy becomes. We also feature corporate leaders who have been intentional in opening doors of opportunity for diverse suppliers and small business owners. Today, we recognize a corporate leader who truly understands what it means to pay it forward. Let's welcome Joan Robinson-Berry to the show. Joan, welcome.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here today. And although I'm retired, I have to say that how you've bartered your life by ensuring that women and minority-owned businesses are successful really was a passion for me to continue to stay involved through my retirement time. Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So Joan, I want to first congratulate you on receiving the CVMSDC Legend Award this year. As a trailblazer for supplier diversity, you have truly helped countless suppliers become successful at Boeing and beyond. And I just want to share with our audience just a bit about you. As the chief engineer and executive vice president at Boeing, Joan was responsible for billions in spend. Throughout her career at Boeing, she grew diverse supplier spend from $300 million to over $1 billion, putting Boeing in the billion-dollar roundtable. Joan serves on numerous boards, and even in her retirement from Boeing, she remains intentional about helping small businesses thrive. Joan, tell us why you are passionate about helping others succeed.
Well, I have to tell you, we have to not always worry about what we're going to do and be successful as individuals in our career, but you should die and go to your grave ensuring that you've helped someone else, that you've sent that elevator down, that you shared your unwritten rules about how to be successful. And so that's been a personal passion. And to see minority and women-owned businesses change the economy in our underrepresented community was something that really motivated me. And I continue to do that today because it's changing lives. And that's what we're all about. We're blessed to be a blessing.
Excellent. Excellent. Why is it important for others to pay their blessings forward, Joan?
Because, let me just talk about this message is for companies. I have found, I'm an engineer by discipline, so facts and data always are part of my conversation. Minority and small businesses and women-owned businesses outperform large businesses because they're more flexible. You will open up opportunities to innovation, diversity of thought, but more importantly, to tap into their community, some untapped communities that can grow your business. So it's very important that you don't just think of this as a social responsibility, but one that's going to increase your productivity, but more importantly, to be more flexible and innovative.
Yes, absolutely. It's an economic imperative. Joan, share with us how you got your start and who were some of the people that served as role models for you?
Well, let me just tell you, James Bell, he was our chief financial officer. He said, be intentional. And I love this topic that you have today. He said, I remember I got sent to the principal's office. They said, Joan is doing so much business with diverse suppliers and diverse employees. And so they sent me to the chief information officer, and also then the CEO at that time was a really advocate for diversity. He said, hey, Joan, I understand you're doing all this work for diversity. Keep it up. And so, it was that culture that our leader of the company inspired, but more importantly, James Bell. He had more minority and women-owned money managers than any corporation in America at one time, I think 25%, that outperformed the street. So it's not just about a social responsibility. It's about productivity. It's about looking for the best teams to help you be successful as a company.
I love that you said it's not just about social responsibility. It's an economic imperative. The more businesses we help to thrive, the stronger the economy. We done some research and economic impact study, and $1 invested in an MBE returns $1.72 to the economy because you're making them self-sufficient. Now, Sylvester Hester and I have talked. I know you're very close to Sylvester. We talked about his success and the role that you have played in opening doors for him. Share your version of the story.
Well, I have to say, he probably opened more doors for me because he outperformed all the suppliers in his class. But more importantly, he said, Joan, I'm a logistics company and I see that you're doing this kitting. You can do it better. And so when you have a business that looks at your company and finds its weaknesses and deploys new strategies to help you be successful, you automatically get more opportunities. And when I found that he had the innovative ideas, but more importantly, that he's a mentor to the community, because you don't just want to have a business. You want to be able to impact the entire ecosystem, who he's hiring, making sure that we're creating wealth for our communities. And that's what Sylvester Hester has done for not only Boeing, but for all the companies and his customers that he serves. And so I have to say, it was a great partnership. He helped us grow and increase productivity. But more importantly, I hope I helped him and opened the door for him with new opportunities. And we still have a strategic relationship. And he continues to do amazing things for businesses all throughout not just our community, but now internationally.
Excellent, excellent. So something very important that you said there is the value proposition. You didn't just help somebody to get in the door. You helped somebody who was helping you find ways to save money, to be more nimble, to be responsive. And he outperformed everybody else, right? So he brought his A game to the table. So that is such a great story. But I want our listeners to understand that it's about what you can do to help that company be better. And that makes you golden. And also, Joan,
absolutely.
Yes. And success comes through support. Everybody needs mentors and coaches, advocates and sponsors and teachers. No one is self-made. And people need to understand that is that we have to lean into other people. But when you lean into other people, it's a give and take, right? You have to be able to balance that value proposition. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And I have to tell you, the message I can give to suppliers, be adaptable and really study your customers, because most of these big corporations have a lot of opportunities for improvement. And when you can find ways to improve their productivity, it's important. But more importantly, I could not have done my job of getting us to the $1 billion roundtable if I didn't have support all the way up the C-suite. And that's important. So the message about support, Otto Richards, for example, if you think about the largest African-American business in America, David Stewart, Worldwide Technology, I believe Boeing gave him one of his first contracts, and he had changed the way we thought about how we service technology with Dell and Cisco. And so again, other MBE partners, like I remember a couple on your team, Dominique, helped me with that collaboration with Dell Computer. So it's not just inside your company, it is networking with other minority businesses and leadership in the entire infrastructure of minority and women-owned businesses. So I just feel honored to have had all of those mentors. I'm standing on the shoulders of amazing folks, and we believe that we've helped change lives, created generational wealth, but more importantly, created a legacy that is going to continue on for a long time.
Thank you so much, Joan. And thank you for telling the story about Dave Stewart, because you've helped numerous individuals become multi-billion-dollar businesses. Dave is our largest MBE. I think he's at $24 billion now. I might be understating it. But you helped him. You saw him when his car was about to be repossessed and helped him get a contract and helped him to grow. So that is tremendous. To our listeners, when you are being helped, you have certain responsibilities also. So it's not just about you reaching out and wanting to have a mentor. You have to bring your A game at all times. You have to be coachable. And I know Joan will agree with this. It's your business, but sometimes you are so close to that business, you can't see what needs to be adjusted for greater success. But Joan, having individuals like Joan who can help you and coach you, you have to receive that coaching. Would you agree, Joan?
Absolutely. And oh, by the way, there's always opportunities for improvement. People think, I don't want to tell them about my where I have some gaps. Well, let me just tell you, the largest corporations on the planet that, remember, I was chief procurement officer. I spent a lot of energy with those companies helping and mentoring them. Don't feel embarrassed to ask for help, because with the mentor protege programs and a variety of things, we're here to help. We help all suppliers. And don't think because you're a minority or woman-owned supplier that you have all the answers. Ask for help, and we'll be there for you.
Excellent. Also, you have to have a servant leader mentality, right? You need to be ready to pay it forward at all times to others, right? So don't just expect to be lifted up and not lift up others around you. You have to work, like she said, Sylvester, his mentality is making sure that everybody on his team has a great financial score, that they're becoming homeowners, that they are well-rounded individuals, so that you offer a great place to work, but you're also invested in the people that are working for you. And then finally, you have to fulfill a need. We talked about this a little bit earlier. What products or services are you providing that makes your customer need you? Are you saving that customer money, time, resources? Do you have innovative technologies or products that can change the equation for your customer? Know your value proposition and communicate clearly. And then I do have a fifth one, which is build relationships. It's two-sided. And Joan, did I miss anything in those 5 points there? I know you added one, but did I miss anything?
You got them all. And it's one big topic that I always have to share is have courage.
Yeah.
You receive not because you ask not. And it's really important. People say, hey, do you buy X, Y, and Z? I didn't have the courage to come and ask you. I didn't want to bother you. Ask me, have courage. And that's what I see the difference between leading companies and companies that are still struggling. The courage factor.
Thank you. That's one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou. Courage makes a difference, right? And so if you think you can do this alone, it's not so. You need a team. You need a support team. I tell businesses you have to have your own board of directors to help guide you through. Joan, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask my favorite question. I think it's important for business owners to gain your wisdom on this. What's the difference between a business owner who works in their business versus working on their business to you?
I think when you think about working in your business, you're always thinking about, productivity, and looking at how you can enhance the bottom line and ensuring that your customers are satisfied. Working on your business is that outside point of view, staying intentional and adaptable and current. Yeah, it's very important that we understand the emerging trends, especially in your business, or you can become obsolete. You either get disrupted or you disrupt. And you need to make sure that you're outside of your comfort zone, outside your company, to ensure that you see those in the next wave of technology. And I hope we're going to talk about AI, because I have to tell you, if that's the new currency, and if you don't have that mindset of making sure that your algorithms are not biased and they're impacting us, you're going to be left behind.
Absolutely. Yes, we do need to talk about AI, because I tell business owners, you need to figure out how AI can help you catapult your business. So from your perspective as an engineer, seeing how the industry is changing, AI being the new currency, how do you think the businesses need to look at AI as they look to grow their businesses?
Every business has a unique, entry point into AI. And when I retired, I started a nonprofit called Data Lingual, because we as minority and women-owned businesses were not in the game. We didn't have enough data scientists, part of our business, to really understand how it can impact our company. Because if you don't have really good AI models or data sources, you're not going to be competitive in this media. It's all going to be about AI. And matter of fact, you're going to be able to replace, some of your obsolete practices using the AI technique. And if you have not already did an assessment of how AI can impact your business, you're already behind.
Excellent. Well, we have coaches who can help business owners to look at their business and evaluate how they can use technology to grow their businesses. So thank you today for being here with us, Joan. Thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Thank you. And when we talk about whose shoulders I'm standing on, yours should be pretty heavy, because you're doing so much. And thanks again for bartering your entire life for, celebrating others, but more importantly, changing the economic outcome for our communities.
You've been a mentor to me, Joan. I appreciate you. I appreciate the mindset that you have to always pay it forward and help others. And that is why this year at BOC 25, Joan Robinson Berry will be our Legend Award recipient. She is being recognized for how she changed the landscape of suppliers at Boeing and how she continues to advance others as a mentor, a business coach, and a sponsor. Join us at BLC 25 as we recognize several award winners with the highest accolades going to my friend, my mentor, an inspiring force to many, a trailblazer, Joan Robinson Berry. Thank you for being with us here today, Joan.
Thank you so much. I feel honored, and I just have to say, God be the glory.
To God be the glory. And well, that concludes today's special episode of Intentionality. Be sure to join me for our next episode. And remember that we must always remain intentional to gain knowledge, skills, and connections so we can grow and thrive in business together. I'm Dominique Simpson-Milton, and I will see you next time.
This has been another episode of Intentionality with Dominique, brought to you by the CVMSDC. For more information, please visit cvmsdc.org.